The story opens with a boy named Hibiki sprinting through an empty valley, completely confused and terrified as a horned rabbit chases him. He has no idea where he is or how he got there, so everything feels sudden and unreal. While trying to make sense of it, he hears a soft female voice identify the creature as a level 1 horned rabbit. He does not understand where the voice is coming from, but he asks it to stay because he is scared. The rabbit suddenly attacks, but Hibiki manages to dodge and accidentally lands on top of it, killing it. He is relieved, but the situation still makes no sense. Somewhere else in the forest, an elf girl moves through the trees while a calm male voice guides her, telling her to head east because something important is waiting for her. Back in the valley, Hibiki checks his phone and realizes there is no signal, which removes any chance of calling for help. He starts thinking the voice might just be in his head. As hunger sets in, he considers eating the rabbit, but hesitates since he does not know if it is safe. The voice speaks again and explains that the rabbit is actually a delicacy often used in stews. Even though the idea bothers him, he decides to carry it along. He begins testing the voice and notices it only responds when he asks questions. When he asks about his backpack, it gives a precise explanation, even stating that the materials do not exist in this world. Curious, he asks about himself, and a screen appears showing his stats. Everything looks normal until he sees his job listed as Appraiser Provisional, which confuses him. When he asks who the voice is, it says it is a status support, but refuses to share personal details. He finds that unfair, but he is distracted by the number of skills available to him. He tries using one, but nothing happens. When he mentions starting a tutorial, the voice says it is already active, which only confuses him more. He then activates the world map skill, but instead of a full map, it only shows the path he has already walked. That is when he realizes he has been going in circles. Using it properly, he continues forward and eventually spots a road. In his excitement, he trips and falls, and the voice announces he has earned a strange title. Before he can process it, a massive monster appears. Just as things look hopeless, a magic arrow suddenly strikes the creature and kills it instantly. Hibiki looks up and sees an elf girl standing nearby. The voice activates his language ability so he can communicate with her. After thanking her, he learns her name is Amelia. He assumes she is cosplaying because of her ears, but she has no idea what he means. When she asks what he was doing in the Maze Eater grassland, Hibiki explains that he appeared there out of nowhere, which shocks her. The voice appraises Amelia, revealing she is a real elf, and even showing that she is 56 years old. Amelia explains that the grassland itself is a monster that traps people by making them wander until they collapse. Realizing how close he was to dying, Hibiki is shaken. Amelia hugs him, thinking he is much younger, but quickly lets go when he tells her he is 16. That night, they set up camp, and Hibiki learns that people are considered adults at 15 in this world. After eating the rabbit, he asks where they are, and Amelia reacts with surprise before explaining they are in the kingdom of Abridged. When he says he is from Japan, she does not recognize it, confirming to him that he is truly in another world. Amelia offers to take him to a nearby city the next day, and Hibiki is grateful. As he sleeps, she watches him and believes he might be the precious thing mentioned earlier. Hibiki dreams about his old life and remembers his friends, who often teased him about his height. The dream shifts to the moment he was transported, when a bright light appeared at school and brought him here. When he wakes, he checks his phone again and then notices glowing shapes in the sky. The voice explains they are part of a protective barrier set by Amelia. Accepting that magic is real, Hibiki asks about his job. The voice explains that Appraiser Provisional is a non-combat role assigned by God, allowing him to analyze abilities but offering no direct fighting power. The next morning, they begin traveling to a town called Lel. Along the way, Amelia explains the dangers of the forest, but reassures him that she will protect him. She is surprised he can sense monsters, and he credits his world map skill. When she hears this, she is shocked because the skill has an extremely high rarity. Hibiki does not see why it matters, since it only tracks explored areas and nearby threats, but Amelia is stunned by how useful that actually is. When his map detects a rare, crystal horned rabbit, Amelia becomes excited because of its high value. She asks him to guide her to it. They track it carefully, while she uses magic to hide their presence. Hibiki is impressed, but Amelia insists his ability is even more valuable. She hints at wanting to form a party, but decides to prove her skills first. She prepares to shoot, and when Hibiki notices she has no arrow, she explains she can create them using magic. Her first shot misses as the rabbit dodges, and she assumes it will escape. However, Hibiki realizes it cannot use its ability mid-attack and suggests baiting it. Though doubtful, Amelia agrees. Hibiki uses terrain to guide the rabbit's movement, and when it charges at him, Amelia lands a perfect shot and kills it. She is surprised the plan worked, and a voice informs Hibiki that his skills leveled up. He is confused since he did not land the final blow, but Amelia explains that his contribution still counts. Elsewhere, a god watches Hibiki's progress and notes that this is only the beginning. In another location, a girl named Ivel registers as an adventurer and reveals she is searching for something important. Hibiki and Amelia finally reach the town of Rowell, but the moment they step inside, Amelia immediately covers him with a cloak since his outfit stands out too much and could attract the wrong kind of attention. She plans to fix that later after they sell the crystal rabbit horn, because once they get paid, he can buy proper clothes along with better gear like armor and weapons. She estimates the horn should sell for about 200 gold coins, which already sounds like a lot. But Hibiki has no idea what that even means in real terms, so he checks his status. When he finds out that a single gold coin is roughly equal to 10,000 yen, he is genuinely shaken because that amount of money is far more than he expected. Amelia notices his reaction and warns him to stop acting so unaware, especially in a place like this where people would not hesitate to take advantage of someone inexperienced. However, the way she says it only convinces Hibiki that she probably struggles with making friends. They make their way to the Adventurer Guild, and as soon as they enter, the other adventurers take one look at them and assume Amelia has taken on some babysitting work. She quickly shuts that down, explaining that Hibiki is an adult and even registered as a rookie. The leader of the group tells everyone to knock it off, and the situation settles. After that, Amelia casually mentions that her party is called the Silver Banner, then leads Hibiki over to the receptionist, Jewel, where she requests a private room to handle the sale. Meanwhile, Hibiki is completely distracted, staring at Jewel's cat ears as he realizes she must be part of a beastfolk race. Soon after, they are brought in to meet the guild master, and the moment Hibiki sees him, he is stunned by how massive and muscular the man is. Without warning, the guild master dramatically tears his shirt off and introduces himself as Deliard, which only makes Hibiki even more impressed. Amelia quickly loses patience watching him obsess over muscles, so she dumps ice-cold water on both of them to snap them back to reality. Once things calm down, they sit properly, and Jewel formally introduces herself as both the receptionist and vice guild master before asking what they came to sell. Amelia places the crystal horn on the table, and Deliard immediately recognizes its value, pointing out that it is even larger than the one sold years ago. After thinking it over, he offers 400 gold coins. Hibiki is already excited since that is more than expected, but Amelia refuses without hesitation and pushes for 800 instead, explaining that the last one sold for 200, and this one is significantly bigger. They go back and forth for a while until Deliard finally agrees to 700 gold coins, which leaves Amelia satisfied. However, Jewel steps in and calmly reminds him that the price he just agreed to exceeds their budget, and she makes it clear that the difference will be taken directly from his salary. Deliard is clearly not happy, but he has no choice. Later on, Hibiki is sitting alone in the guild when his status informs him that his tutorial skill is ready to level up. Since he still does not understand what that even means, the system explains that it is a skill given to people with very low chances of survival, allowing them to receive guidance from God so they can learn what they need to stay alive. Realizing that everything he has managed so far was thanks to that support, Hibiki quietly expresses his gratitude, but to his surprise, a voice answers him. At first, he thinks it is his imagination, yet the voice continues, revealing that it is the one who brought him into this world. Hibiki is shocked that he can actually communicate like this, but the voice explains that this kind of connection is rare and cannot happen often. It also makes it clear that from this point on, everything depends on Hibiki himself, including how he chooses to live and survive. Before Hibiki can ask anything else, the voice disappears. His status then informs him that now that his level has increased, the guide support will soon come to an end. He starts to wonder what that means, but before he can think too deeply about it, Amelia walks over, and shortly after, a messenger hands her a letter marked as a special request. After reading it, Amelia apologizes and explains that she has to leave immediately because the request came from her hometown, and she cannot refuse it. She also tells him she cannot take him along this time. At that moment, Hibiki realizes the truth. Amelia was the guide the whole time. Elsewhere, Ivel is deep within a dungeon, still searching for something she has been chasing for a long time without success. Suddenly, she senses its location and immediately changes direction to pursue it. Back in Rowell, Amelia quietly worries about leaving Hibiki behind, but he reassures her, saying he plans to become an adventurer and has already learned that there are non-combat jobs available. He also admits that she has already done more than enough for him, and he does not want to keep relying on her. When it is finally time to part ways, Amelia allows him to stay at the inn she has been using and hands him a map before leaving. Hibiki tries to return the cloak, but she tells him to keep it as a parting gift. However, he points out that she might need it more since the button on her shirt just popped off, which immediately makes her flustered as she rushes off in embarrassment. As she hurries away, she accidentally runs into Ivel and quickly apologizes. When someone nearby asks why she is in such a rush, she explains that she has to return home urgently. After helping Ivel back up, Ivel asks if she is from the elf country known as the Kingdom of Fair. When Amelia confirms it, Ivel smiles and says that is exactly where she is heading as well. Meanwhile, Hibiki ends up spending most of his time resting after Amelia leaves. When he checks his phone, he realizes the battery is completely dead, and he still has no idea how to return to his original world. On top of that, God has not spoken to him again, which makes him question why he was even brought here in the first place. At that moment, Tanya, the innkeeper, comes into his room, saying she was worried since he missed both breakfast and lunch. Hibiki assures her he is fine, and she lets him know dinner will be ready soon before leaving. Once he is alone again, reality starts to settle in. The money he has now is all he has, so he will need to find work soon. But when he checks his stats, it becomes clear that he is not suited for combat at all. His status advises him to avoid fighting alone, but points out that he has gained some technical skills, including contract and medical book. Curious, Hibiki focuses on the medical book skill, and the system explains that he can absorb its knowledge by reading it completely, though once he starts, he cannot stop midway. Even though that condition sounds intense, he decides to go through with it. The moment he begins, a flood of knowledge pours into his mind all at once, overwhelming him. Elsewhere, Amelia and Ivel continue traveling together, and Amelia admits she cannot stop thinking about Hibiki and worrying about him. Ivel immediately assumes that means she has feelings for him, but Amelia shuts that down, pointing out that they just met and that he is far younger than her. Not long after, they meet a maid named Stalia, and Amelia happily greets her. She introduces her to Ivel, who then suddenly asks Amelia to form a party together. Amelia is excited since it is her first time receiving such a request, although Stalia clearly does not share that enthusiasm. A few days later, Hibiki finally finishes absorbing all the knowledge from the medical book, though the process leaves him completely exhausted. Even so, he heads out to buy equipment and later reflects on how difficult it was, realizing that gaining skills in this world requires real effort and comes with its own conditions. He also recognizes how much he has relied on his status support, so he decides to give a proper name and calls it Sapo. When he returns to the guild looking for work, chaos breaks out as a severely injured adventurer is carried inside. Hibiki recognizes him as someone he saw earlier. His companion panics, saying he was attacked by a silver ruby wolf and needs immediate help. But when both of them collapse, the man's condition worsens rapidly. Jewel explains that Dilliard is not in town, and while other healing methods can be tried, they are unlikely to be enough. Seeing the situation, Hibiki steps forward and offers to help, explaining that he has a medical skill. Sapo quickly analyzes the situation and estimates the man has only minutes left to live. He has been poisoned and has lost 2 limbs, meaning the treatment requires both hypercure and perfect heal. Hibiki understands the procedure, but immediately runs into a problem. He does not have enough mana to perform it. Realizing knowledge alone is useless without the power to act, he starts thinking of alternatives. Sapo then suggests using his contract skill, which allows others to transfer their mana to him. Without hesitation, everyone nearby agrees and channels their mana into him. With enough energy gathered, Hibiki performs the treatment, first removing the poison and then restoring the man's body completely. A bright light fills the room, and when it fades, the adventurer is fully healed. Relieved, Hibiki collapses from exhaustion. In his dream, he sees his old friend Amain, who criticizes him for risking his life without thinking. She warns him that he cannot always rely on others to save him and needs to be more careful. He wakes up suddenly, with Sapo announcing that his skills and levels have increased significantly. Jewel approaches him and thanks him, revealing that the man he saved is her younger brother, Jade. Hibiki is confused since Jade is human while she is not, but she simply explains they have different mothers. He tries to downplay his role, saying he only succeeded because others lent him their mana, but Jewel insists that without him, Jade would have died. She then tells him she has kept everything quiet because the abilities he used are extremely rare, and if word spreads, people will try to exploit him. Because of that, she suggests he either joins a party or hires protection. Hibiki considers it but is unsure. He does not know how long he will stay, and he does not want to become someone else's burden. Jewel then offers a simpler option. He could just hire a bodyguard. Somewhere else, a wolf-like man sits inside a prison cell beside a young girl, quietly declaring that anyone who tries to harm her will be torn apart. The next day, Hibiki goes to the Debbie company to hire a bodyguard, where he meets the owner, a jar than Debbie. The moment Debbie sees him properly, his attitude changes completely. He starts acting overly excited because he can sense wealth from Hibiki. It turns out Debbie has a special ability that lets him detect a pleasant scent from people who are either already rich or will become rich soon. Hibiki is then shown a group of strong-looking fighters to choose from, but he rejects all of them. It is not because they are weak, but because none of them have enough MP. What he really needs is someone with high mana, so he can use the Hypercure and Perfect Heal skills from his medical book. Debbie tells him there are still many other options, but at that moment, Hibiki hears advice from God telling him to find someone himself. As Debbie starts guiding him to another group, Hibiki notices a dark hallway nearby. When he asks about it, Debbie warns him that the people there are not suitable for normal work or combat. They are individuals who could not return to their homelands, so he simply allowed them to stay. Hibiki feels they might share a situation similar to his own, so he asks to see them anyway. Inside, Hibiki finds a wolf beast man guarding a young girl. Curious about why they are locked away, he asks Debbie, who explains that the beast man once went on a rampage to protect the girl. The girl has strong magical power but cannot control it, so her magic bursts out randomly and causes problems. Hibiki tries to appraise them, but notices that some of their stats are hidden. Sapo tells him the stats are fake and advises him to use his expertise skill, which is the highest level appraisal skill, given directly by God. When he uses it, he discovers that the beast man is named Claude, a level 95 hero, and the girl is Lillian, who has a rare status called Raging Sanctuary, meaning her soul is directly connected to the realm of the gods. Hibiki realizes both of them have more than enough MP, but he hesitates, wondering if he is even allowed to recruit a hero and someone with such a powerful status. God simply tells him to do whatever he wants. Sapo then suggests he use a technical skill called Relief Measure. Although she does not explain it clearly, Hibiki assumes it might help remove whatever curse is affecting Claude. After thinking it through, Hibiki decides to buy both of them. Debbie becomes extremely excited because the scent of wealth around Hibiki grows even stronger. Hibiki then takes Claude and Lillian to an open field. Claude is confused and suspicious, wondering what Hibiki plans to do. Hibiki tells him to relax because he intends to heal him, which shocks Claude. He also tells Lillian he will need her help. Claude remains cautious, thinking it might be a trick, but Lillian tells him to stop doubting and stay quiet. She reminds him that he has always protected her, so now it is her turn to help him. Hibiki explains that he needs a large amount of her MP and that she must agree to a contract first. Lillian agrees immediately and transfers her MP. With enough power, Hibiki activates Perfect Heal. In an instant, Claude's missing limbs are restored and all his wounds disappear completely, as if they never existed. Lillian is overwhelmed with joy and rushes to hug Claude. Claude, still in shock, thanks Hibiki deeply and says he feels much lighter than before. Hibiki explains that the heavy feeling was likely caused by a curse. Claude is surprised because information about his curse should be impossible to uncover, even with normal appraisal skills. Hibiki then reveals that Claude is a hero and tells Lillian she will become a sage in the future. Claude is completely confused about how Hibiki knows all this. Hibiki explains that his abilities come directly from God, which shocks Claude even more because he understands how powerful that means Hibiki is. Hibiki then uses Relief Measure to try removing the curse. Suddenly, heavy chains wrap around Claude, and a giant pair of scissors appears and cuts into them. For a moment, it looks dangerous, but Claude is unharmed. Instead, one of the chains is cut, and he immediately feels some of his strength returning, even though he is not fully recovered yet. Realizing what Hibiki has done, Claude bows his head and apologizes for his earlier behavior. He then says he wants to perform a ceremony of allegiance. Hibiki has no idea what that is, so Claude explains that it is a sacred ritual where he offers his loyalty completely, even at the level of his soul. Sapo suggests using the contract skill to make it binding. Hibiki agrees, and they proceed with the ritual. Claude pledges himself fully, and once Hibiki accepts, a mark appears on both their wrists. It is the crest of the light spirits, symbolizing their bond and loyalty. Lillian watches happily as everything unfolds. At the same time, Amelia, Ivel, and Stalia continue traveling. After a while, Amelia suggests stopping at a hot spring to rest. Stalia likes the idea at first, but quickly changes her mind, realizing they would have to bathe together with Ivel. She tries to convince Amelia to skip it, but Amelia refuses, leaving Stalia with no choice but to accept. Back with Hibiki, he explains to Claude and Lillian why he needs to draw MP from others to use Perfect Heal. They understand, and the three of them form a sharing contract, which also improves Hibiki's contract skill. Claude then notices Hibiki has been quietly talking to himself and asks about it. Hibiki explains it is a guiding voice that helps him understand things. Claude immediately recognizes this as the tutorial skill, another divine ability. He also realizes Hibiki must be from another world. Hibiki is surprised Claude knows about that, but Claude says it does not matter and does not affect his loyalty at all. As they continue their journey, Claude explains that Hibiki is most likely connected to the chief god, the highest among the 11 gods in their world. Only the chief god can grant abilities like tutorial and expert eye. Claude believes the chief god has taken a special interest in Hibiki. However, Hibiki finds it strange and wonders why someone like him would be chosen. He also questions why Lillian was given the Raging Sanctuary ability, since it seems more like a burden. When Hibiki explains what the ability does, Lillian becomes frightened. Claude then suggests it may not be the chief god's doing, but rather the god of magic, who controls all magical abilities. At that moment, the god of magic speaks directly to Hibiki. She confirms that Lillian is suffering because of her ability, but explains that once a skill is given, it cannot simply be removed. However, she tells Hibiki he has her skill, Grimoire, which allows him to adjust Lillian's MP and magic output to control it. She also makes it clear she will not always be there to help. Hibiki understands that the system will handle things automatically once he uses the skill. He shares the good news with Claude and Lillian, who are relieved. But then Sappo informs him that both Expert Eye and Tutorial are temporarily unavailable, limiting her support. Meanwhile, the god of magic watches Hibiki closely, feeling like she has seen him before. Hibiki activates Grimoire, which summons a small, cat-like creature named V. She introduces herself and says she will teach Lillian how to control her magic. Lillian is so overwhelmed by how cute she is that she immediately starts petting her. When Hibiki asks about Grimoire, V explains that she is the Grimoire itself, a sacred beast created by the god of magic. Hibiki feels reassured and pats her head. Claude immediately gets jealous and complains that he has not received a single pat yet. Elsewhere, Amelia, Ivel, and Stalia relax in a hot spring. Stalia gets distracted by Amelia's figure, but quickly regains focus. Amelia asks about Stalia's mission, but Stalia admits she does not know the details yet. Amelia then asks Ivel to help wash her back, but Ivel refuses. Amelia laughs, realizing they are not close yet. Stalia comments that Amelia is pushing too hard, since such actions are not something strangers normally do. Ivel hears this, smirks, and then suddenly agrees to help Amelia after all, saying that this is simply what friends do, catching Amelia completely off guard. The next day, Hibiki takes Claude out to get weapons, and things don't go the way he expected. Instead of picking a sword like a typical hero, Claude chooses a spear. That catches Hibiki off guard, but Claude explains it simply. A spear fits his body better and matches how he fights. He also talks about armor and makes it clear he is not trying to turn himself into a walking tank. As long as his vital areas are protected, that is enough. Too much armor just slows him down and makes him overheat, which is the last thing he wants in a fight. At the same time, Lillian is busy picking out new clothes for herself. Everything seems normal until the merchant drops the total price, 25 gold coins. That number hits both Hibiki and Lillian hard because to them, that is expensive. Claude, on the other hand, doesn't even hesitate. He just pays like it is nothing. That alone tells you the gap in their situations. Lillian immediately starts feeling bad about spending that much, but Hibiki shuts it down. He tells her straight that her safety matters more than money, so there is no point feeling guilty about it. Then he doubles down on that decision and tells her to pick a staff too, even though he knows his finances are already in trouble. He is not thinking logically at that point. He just knows seeing her happy is worth it. Of course, that opens the door for more trouble. Vi jumps in and complains about being left out. So Hibiki ends up buying her a cute collar as well. Just like that, his debt gets worse, and he knows it. After shopping, they head to an open field where Vene decides it is time to start basic magic training. She already assumes Claude is fine because he is a hero, but Hibiki and Lillian are a different story. They do not have the natural traits heroes usually rely on. So she tells Hibiki he will have to depend on his grimoire. Hibiki has no idea what that even is, so Sappo explains it. A grimoire is a rare ability that lets the user gain knowledge and skills related to magic in that world. That immediately gets Hibiki excited because he thinks this might finally be his chance to use real magic. That excitement doesn't last long. V quickly cuts him off and tells him to lower his expectations because he will only be able to use simple household magic. Not exactly the power fantasy he had in mind. Even so, training starts. The focus is on Lillian first because her magic is unstable. Vene explains that they will limit her output to about 10% and slowly increase it as she learns control. For that to work, Hibiki has to be registered as the one managing her magic flow. When he asks how that works, Vin doesn't bother explaining properly and just bites his hand, saying that is enough. Then comes Hibiki's part. He needs to learn magic circulation, which basically means controlling the flow of magic energy with precision. The exercise involves two people sharing magic between them while keeping it stable. Hibiki listens to all of this and still has no clue what is going on. That annoys Vene, so she skips the explanation and decides to let him experience it directly. Claude steps in and starts passing a small amount of magic into Hibiki, carefully, because too much could overwhelm him. But even that small amount hits hard. Almost instantly, Hibiki gets pulled into a strange, empty space, which slowly turns into a forest under a night sky. There, he sees an elf girl by the water, and she calls him Claude. That is when things get weird. Hibiki realizes he is not himself anymore. He has taken Claude's identity and appearance. Instead of panicking, he plays along and sits beside her, and at the same time, memories start flooding in. The girl's name is Anastasia, and from what he sees, she and Claude grew up together. They were close, almost inseparable, and Claude believed that would never change. Then the memory shifts. War breaks out, people die, and Anastasia is one of them. The moment hits hard, and it is clear that this loss left a deep scar on Claude. Hibiki suddenly snaps back to reality, but for a moment, he still thinks he is Claude. Claude has to call out to him and bring him back. After a while, Hibiki regains control and starts questioning what just happened. V explains it simply. He went too deep into Claude's consciousness while the magic was flowing. Claude apologizes for letting too much magic through, but V immediately calls him out for ignoring instructions. Later that evening, Hibiki is stuck doing something far less exciting. He is mopping the floor as part of his household magic training. Household magic works differently. It requires spirits, and those spirits only respond after someone releases enough magical energy during normal daily tasks. Basically, he has to keep doing chores until something decides to notice him. He keeps at it for a long time, but nothing happens, which makes him start doubting the whole process. Still, he doesn't stop. Eventually, Claude and Lillian show up. Claude accidentally knocks over the bucket, spilling water everywhere, then rushes to fix it. Hibiki doesn't even get mad. Instead, he calls Claude cute for being clumsy, which completely embarrasses him. Meanwhile, Lillian is improving steadily. Her control is getting better, and it shows. Seeing that, Claude suggests Hibiki should stop relying only on chores and try some real training. Hibiki admits he does not even know how to use a sword, so Claude hands him a bow instead. That doesn't go well either. Every shot misses badly. It is clear Hibiki is starting from zero. Somewhere else, Amelia and the others are traveling through a forest. They reach a crossroads, and one path leads to a shortcut, but it also passes a ruined fortress known for strange illusions. Amelia suggests avoiding it, but Ivel does the opposite. She gets interested and heads straight for the shortcut like it is some kind of game. Amelia, desperate to stay close to her, agrees, and the rest follow. Stalia can already tell this is a bad decision, and she is probably right. Back with Hibiki's group, Lillian helps prepare a meal, and they all sit down to eat. The problem is, the food is terrible, completely inedible. The reason is simple. Claude forgot to properly clean the ingredients. That moment makes it clear he is only useful in combat. Claude defends himself by blaming the curse placed on him, which makes Hibiki curious. When asked about it, Claude admits he has no idea who cursed him. Later, while Hibiki is washing dishes by the river, Sappo tells him he has unlocked a new skill called Bubble Wash. Finally, some progress. Then Sappo tells him to check the map, and that is when things escalate. A rushing boar monster is heading straight toward them at high speed. Claude steps forward without hesitation. Using his spear and precision strike, he takes it down quickly. No struggle, no drama. After that, he points out the obvious. The smell of blood will attract more monsters, so they need to deal with the body fast. Lillian takes this chance to show what she has learned. Using her water magic and odor isolation skill, she cleans the entire boar, removing all the blood completely. With that done, Claude moves on to the next lesson, teaching them how to butcher a monster properly. At the same time, Amelia and the others reach the ruined fortress. Ivel uses her magic mirror to scan the area and confirms it is filled with restless souls. Amelia suddenly gets excited, thinking she found treasure, but it turns out to be a trap. A magical gas that creates illusions based on what people desire most. Both Amelia and Stalia fall into it instantly. Ivel handles the situation with her magic. Back with Hibiki's group, they finish butchering the boar, and now everyone is covered in blood. Hibiki decides this is the perfect time to test his new skill. When he activates Bubble Wash, high-pressure soap bubbles blast straight at Claude. When it ends, Claude is completely clean, spotless, and even feels refreshed, like his energy has been restored a bit. The next day, Hibiki and his group sit down and face the obvious problem. They are broke. So Hibiki suggests they start taking guild jobs to earn money, and everyone agrees. Claude steps in with a reality check, telling them to stick to low-risk F-rank quests since they are still inexperienced. They register their party with Jewel at the guild and start picking quests. Hibiki is surprised when Claude selects multiple jobs at once, but Claude explains that low-rank quests pay poorly, so stacking them is the only way to make decent money. They also hear about a higher-rank capture mission targeting a bandit, but Claude immediately rejects it as too dangerous. Hibiki begins his first quest, hunting a rabbit. He thinks it will be easy, but his aim is terrible, and it takes several tries to finally get it. Claude points out it should have been one shot, but lets it pass. Soon after, Lillian and Vinay return from gathering herbs and show a metacatch of fruit, which can be used as a trail marker. During a break, Hibiki starts thinking about his old world and realizes he might never return, which hits him harder than expected. Elsewhere, Ivel is frustrated because she still hasn't found the soul she's searching for and begins doubting herself. Meanwhile, Amelia gives her a protective amulet and promises to help her if she's ever in danger. Ivel accepts, but knows the friendship isn't real. Back in town, Hibiki suggests celebrating their earnings with good food, but things go sideways fast. Dilliard shows up, calls Hibiki weak, and insists on training him. Claude steps in, and it quickly turns into a fight. At first they're even, but Claude starts losing. Hibiki uses Appraisal and realizes Dilliard is far stronger than expected. The fight only stops when Jewel arrives and slams both of them into a wall. Right after that, a woman screams that her purse was stolen, and Hibiki realizes his wallet is gone too. Their celebration is instantly ruined. Jewel suspects it's the same bandit from earlier, known for stealing with their tail. Vinay comes up with a plan to catch them. They set a trap with Hibiki disguised as a woman, using him as bait. The plan seems too obvious, and it is. The thief turns out to be the waitress, who steals the wallet and escapes. But the group had prepared by using metacatch of fruit to leave a visible trail, allowing them to track her to a hidden underground diner. Inside, they find a suspicious setup, and Claude notices a hooded girl leaving. They corner her in an alley, and Hibiki reveals through Appraisal that she is the bandit, Fauna. She admits it, but flips the situation by revealing she already stole the real wallet while they chase the fake one. She escapes after blocking their path, and Hibiki chases her, but falls into a trap. Instead of attacking him, Fauna makes a deal. She will help him if he uses his appraisal skill to sort her stolen items. Hibiki agrees and proves his skill, even reading a message on her armband that no one else could understand. This shocks Fauna, as it was a keepsake from her late sister. Afterward, Fauna warns Hibiki to return home if he has the chance, then gives back his wallet, and unexpectedly kisses him before leaving. Later, Dilliard jokes about the incident, then shares news of a powerful party called the Corpse Killers, who are so strong the king has tasked them with fighting the undead. That night, Hibiki reflects on how big the world is and expresses a desire to explore and meet a sage. Then he reveals the real reason. He wants to find a way back to his original world. This shocks Claude and Lillian, as it means he will eventually leave. Even so, Claude promises to protect him until that day comes. Meanwhile, Amelia talks about hearing a spirit in the Forest of Roe, which immediately catches Ivel's attention. Ivel suddenly decides to leave, suspecting that what Amelia heard might actually be the soul she's been searching for, even though it means returning to where everything began. A while later, Ivel finally arrives at Roll, confirmed by her magic mirror. As soon as she hears it, she starts reviewing her targets. Next on her list is Claude, and based on what she remembers about him losing his limbs before, she assumes he'll be easy to deal with. At the same time, Hibiki and his group are sitting in a diner, eating and planning their next move. Claude tells Hibiki that if he really wants to meet the sages, then they need to head to a city called Teradinus. Hibiki has never even heard of it, so he immediately asks where it is. That's when Van pops in and explains they can reach it by clearing a dungeon, adding that going through the northern forest is the fastest route. Hibiki doesn't even know what a dungeon is, so Claude breaks it down. It's a dangerous place filled with monsters and deadly traps, and clearing one is no joke. He makes it clear they'll need serious training before even attempting it. Hibiki already knows what that means, more hard work, and he's not thrilled about it. After finishing her meal, Lillian suddenly thanks everyone and quietly leaves without saying anything else. The mood shifts immediately. Dilliard notices and asks Hibiki what's going on, and Hibiki admits they've been having some tension lately. Dilliard's solution is simple and aggressive: drag everyone outside and start training. Hibiki and Vinay would rather go home, but Claude sides with the idea. If they're planning to go through a dungeon, then training isn't optional, it's necessary. Even though Claude agrees, it's obvious he and Dilliard still don't get along. Training begins, and Hibiki is honestly terrible. He struggles with almost everything and fails repeatedly. It's rough to watch. Meanwhile, Lillian watches from a distance and sees how hard he's pushing himself just for a chance to return to his world. That thought alone clearly hurts her. Tanya shows up and comforts her, but it doesn't fully fix how she feels. By sunset, Hibiki shows a tiny bit of improvement. He almost hits a target during archery practice, which is progress, barely. Then he completely collapses from exhaustion. Claude assumes the effort must have paid off, but when Hibiki checks his stats, nothing has changed. Not even a little. That immediately sparks an argument between Claude and Dilliard. Before it escalates, Jewel shows up again and freezes both of them instantly, ending the argument on the spot. After that, everyone cools off in a hot spring. While relaxing, Hibiki notices Claude looks distant and asks what's wrong. Claude admits it's been a long time since he's been able to relax like this. Hibiki takes the chance to ask about his past, and Claude reveals he used to live in the capital of the Bistronia Kingdom. But that city was destroyed long ago, along with everyone he cared about. Even so, he brushes it off, saying it's in the past, and what matters now is staying by Hibiki's side. Later that night, the group sits around a campfire. Lillian finally opens up. She admits she doesn't want Hibiki to leave, but at the same time, she wants him to do what's best for himself. It's clear the idea of him going back to his world is tearing her apart. Hibiki apologizes, but Lillian shuts that down and says she's the selfish one for wanting him to stay. Then she gives him a drink she made herself. Hibiki tries it and is genuinely surprised by how good it is, which makes her light up instantly. At the same time, Amelia returns to her family mansion. After her bath, maids inform her that her father is hosting a party and expects her to attend. She's clearly annoyed, hoping there was a more important reason for being called back. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, Ivel watches calmly as Hibiki's group arrives. Hibiki checks his world map for their next target, the Silver Ruby Wolf, but strangely finds nothing. Suddenly, Claude senses something and prepares to attack, only for Ivel to appear, pretending to be a lost E-rank adventurer. Hibiki lowers Claude's guard, but something feels off. He tries to appraise her, but Ivel hides her real power, so he only sees weak stats and assumes she's harmless. She plays along, even clinging to Claude's arm while secretly inspecting it, shocked to see it still intact after she thought she destroyed it before. She then claims she was running from a Silver Ruby Wolf deeper in the forest. After giving them that information, she casually leaves. The whole interaction feels strange, but they move on. When Hibiki checks his world map again, it suddenly reveals the exact location of the wolf. They track it down quickly, but just before attacking, Sappo warns Hibiki to check again. This time, he realizes the truth. There isn't just one wolf. They're surrounded. Hibiki freezes for a moment, and that's all it takes. One of the wolves strikes from behind and slashes across his neck. The wound isn't instantly fatal, but blood starts pouring out fast. Claude and Lillian are shocked. Then it's revealed, Ivel has been controlling the wolves the entire time. She orders them to wipe everyone out, starting with Claude. Claude immediately steps up to hold them off, while Lillian rushes to Hibiki. She gives him a healing potion, but it doesn't stop the bleeding. Vene tells her to use a state maintenance spell, and that finally stabilizes him. Realizing the situation is hopeless, Claude tells Lillian to take Hibiki and run back to town, specifically to Dilliard, who might be able to save him. Lillian hesitates, but Claude forces the decision and tells her to go. She summons her Earth Lion Golem and escapes with Hibiki. After they leave, Claude notices something strange. The wolves don't chase them. That's when it hits him. He was the real target all along. Meanwhile, Lillian and Hibiki are still in danger. Another wolf chases them into a cave. Lillian blocks the entrance with an earth wall, but the wolves break through using vines. She keeps fighting them off with wind magic, refusing to give up. At that moment, Hibiki regains consciousness. He checks his condition using his medical skill and realizes the wound is infected with a deadly bleeding poison. He tries to use Hypercure, but he's too weak. After enduring long enough, the skill finally becomes available. Hibiki activates it immediately, curing the poison and restoring himself with a potion. Then he takes it further and summons his sacred beast. A massive burst of energy fills the cave, and V appears in her true lightning form. Her presence alone is overwhelming. She declares that anyone who attacks her master deserves death, and instantly wipes out all the wolves with a single lightning strike. Hibiki thinks they can now go save Claude, but V immediately reverts back to her small form, explaining that the transformation only lasts for a short time. Sappo adds that it will take a while before Hibiki can use it again. Then things get worse. V reveals that the enemy Claude is facing isn't just another wolf. It's a silver diamond wolf, something far beyond what they can handle. Even after hearing that, Hibiki refuses to give up. Right at that moment, Sappo announces he's unlocked a new SS rank skill, God's Medicine Staff. Hibiki uses it instantly, and both he and Lillian are fully healed, like nothing ever happened. Then something unexpected happens. A seed nearby rapidly grows and transforms into a weapon. Vinay is shocked, recognizing it immediately. Hibiki appraises it and learns the godly bow. When he tests it, the power is insane, easily rivaling high-level spirit archery. Now fully recovered and armed with a powerful new weapon, Hibiki and the others prepare to go back and save Claude. At the same time, in heaven, the god of magic complains about Hibiki receiving too many overpowered abilities, but the chief god dismisses the concern, pointing out that she herself has already contributed to his strength, and ultimately concludes that whether Hibiki uses these powers wisely or wastes them is entirely up to him. But that's where episode 6 ends. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss the next part.